There's a reason that Ethan Klein is smiling like this right now, and it's because things don't seem to be going well for the people that he's suing. That's right, if you haven't been paying attention, Ethan Klein here is suing Denims, CaseyTron, and Frogan. These three streamers all reacted to Ethan Klein's content nuke video on Hassan Piker, and Ethan Klein feels that their reactions were not fair use. And also, I think he just wants to get back at them because they've all been kind of mean to him in the past. So Ethan Klein is pretty smug right now because Ethan Klein, he's got a lot more money than all three of them. Denims, CaseyTron, and Frogan are all Hassan orbiters, but they're not Hassan. They don't have the same resources that a streamer or YouTuber the size of Ethan Klein has. And because of that, each one of them opened up their own GoFundMes. We have one for Denims, we have one for CaseyTron, and we have one for Frogan. Now you might notice something, it's been a couple of weeks now, and none of them have reached their goal. That's right, Denims has only raised $37,556 of her $100,000 goal. CaseyTron has only made $41,829 of her $100,000 goal, and Frogan, she set the expectations high here, requesting $200,000 as her goal, and she's only raised $33,519. None of them have raised that much money. Now granted, I know $30,000, $40,000, and $30,000, that's a lot of money. When you add that all up, it's about $100,000 between all of them. It's a little more. But this is the problem that I pointed out in my original video about their GoFundMes. They all share an audience. Denims, CaseyTron, and Frogan, they all have the same audience. And because of that, Ethan Klein, I think he was pretty smart when he sued all of them at the same time, because now they're all asking their own audiences for money. But the problem with that is, if I'm a viewer of Denims here, but I'm also a viewer of CaseyTron or Frogan, how do I decide who to donate to? Do I donate to all three? Well, that's a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot for me to donate to all three, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pick one and donate to that one. Now, somehow, CaseyTron actually has the most raised, and good for her, because that's crazy. I don't know how she got the most raised for this, because I'm pretty sure Denims and Frogan are more recognizable names. The reason that I'm mentioning that their GoFundMe still aren't doing so well is because I saw this tweet from Dan Can't Tweet here, and it's saying that he's tracking how much they're making on their GoFundMes every day, every 2 days, and he said that in the past 48 hours, total donations received for the Ethan Klein lawsuit defense fund. CaseyTron has raised $259, Frogan has raised $160, and Denims, she's only raised $151. Please donate to keep the memes alive. And then he has some screenshots here of when he took them, so it's kind of low quality. I don't know why he took his screenshots on a potato, but you can see this was at 3:25 p.m. on the 29th of June, 2025, and their totals here. And then if we go over here in the second picture here, this one was on the 1st of July, 2025, and yeah, the numbers have not changed by much at all. So it really isn't looking too good for them, and I'm not sure how they can come back from this. I'm pretty sure Ethan Klein's going to be smiling all the way to the bank, because the problem for them is they can, in fact, defend themselves. I mean, I think that Ethan Klein probably has a much better chance at winning this lawsuit, specifically because of how malicious it seems what they did was, and how it seems like they were trying to create a market replacement for his original video. Because of that, I think the odds are in Ethan's favor, but they could argue, right? They could go through and try to make this work. But if they don't have the money, if they can't fundraise and they don't have the money to hire lawyers, they're screwed, because Ethan Klein here, this right here, this is the face of a man who's ready to go to war. What people have been doing to Ethan Klein over the past couple of years, including some of the things said by CaseyTron, Denims, and Frogan about Ethan Klein, have driven him to the point where he's now suing people, where I don't think if you asked him 5 years ago, he would have ever thought that he was doing this, because Ethan Klein has actually been the victim of a lawsuit in the past over copyright, which he prevailed in, and he won and actually set the standard for reaction videos on YouTube. So if there's anybody who's an expert in how this works and how fair use works, it's Ethan Klein and his team of lawyers. All of these different creators, Denims, CaseyTron, and Frogan, they're all gonna need a good legal team. They're gonna need a huge legal team, and they're gonna need a legal team that's actually capable of taking on somebody like Ethan Klein, and I don't know how they're gonna do that if they're not raising that much money. Pretty sure Ethan's gonna win this one, if not just on the merit of the case, also on the fact that if he wanted to, he could do the vindictive millionaire tactic of just burying them in paperwork and costing them tons of money, as their lawyers have to go through tons of paperwork, charging them hourly for their services until essentially they all run out of money and can't afford to pay their lawyers anymore. So let me know if you think that's what Ethan's gonna do, or do you think he's gonna go through and go through the whole lawsuit, and do you think that any of these three are gonna settle? Because if I was them and I was looking at the GoFundMe amounts being raised, I would be begging for a settlement right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and God bless you.